Hey gang, it's your friendly neighborhood RoboRiv. This drawing is from 2020. The reason why I decided to show this one to you guys now is because we should be right on the heels of a Deadpool 3 Super Bowl trailer, which, if I'm willing to bet, is going to showcase our boy Hugh Jackman. Almost called him Jack Huge Man. But Hugh Jackman finally in the yellow and blue spandex, rocking the OG Logan Wolverine look. And that's what we got here today, Wolverine. I like to call this drawing Adamantium Rage. Remember that game? That was literally one of the most broken Sega Genesis cartridge games out there. Anywho, with this drawing, it's, again, it speaks for itself. It's Wolverine. He's slashing. I want it to do. I had that sound effect. Sometimes when I'm drawing, sometimes when I'm sketching, I'll hear like a sound effect, and I heard that classic, 90s X-Men intro music. And my favorite part of that intro is when Wolverine does the shing, and it's got like the kind of like the blue. I don't know what a lens flare kind of effect, and it makes that sound. Oh man, I wanted to try to take my hand at it and see what I could do with it. So that's why I drew it. It's very silly reason, but is it really a silly reason to draw Wolverine? He's pretty fun to draw, and plus he kind of looks like Batman a little bit. What is it? It's two Batmans kissing. Is Wolverine's mask. But anyhow, on these inks here, I really is pretty straightforward. It didn't take a whole lot of time to produce this, at least the line work. I think I may have spent a little bit longer on the colors on this. But speaking of colors and kind of going back to my hype about seeing a Wolverine finally kind of have a little bit more comic book accurate look in the movies, I'm trying to temper my expectations with Deadpool 3. I hope it's really good, and I hope it opens the gateway for a more accurate X-Men on film. Not to disparage the older X-Men films. I like those movies, especially like the first two movies, and then the First Class movies were pretty good. And I liked X-Men Days of Future Past, and that's pretty much it. Wasn't really feeling Age of Apocalypse that much. They tried, but I mean, they could have done that story so much better. And don't even get me started on both of the attempts for the Dark Phoenix storyline. It's unfortunate that we'll probably never see that done correctly, or at least halfway decently on film, but it is what it is. I think part of that excitement for seeing Wolverine in the yellow and blue on film, other than opening those gateways and seeing how maybe Marvel Studios will do their take on X-Men, is I'm hoping to see that carry throughout, and we get to see the individual different looking costumes. That's one of the things that makes the X-Men different than say Fantastic Four. It's all about diversity. It's all about uniqueness, and all their costumes look different and they stand out, but they're kind of tied together with the X branding, the black and red X branding. I hope to see that in the film versions. That's definitely something that was lost with the black leather suits in most of the older X-Men movies. They tried it a little bit with Age of Apocalypse. They sort of dipped their toes in a little bit, but I didn't feel like those designs were quite up to snuff. So yeah, you could say what you want about Marvel, especially now. There's a lot of people that don't really like the movie output, and I'm not necessarily one of those people, but I can understand. I can see it. I can see some of the sameness, and people may have some fatigue from the dreaded superhero movie fatigue. But I'm a take it or leave it kind of guy when it comes to movies and video games and TV. If I don't like it, I just hit the exit button, hit pause, hit stop, and go into something else if it doesn't really hold my attention. Especially with as much artwork that I try to do, I don't really like spending my time on things that I don't like, and that even comes along with like talking about things I don't like. I don't really harp on it so much, I guess. But here we go. We're getting towards there we go. There's the blue flare, the shing, the snick in Wolverine's claws. The whole reason I did this drawing. There it is. I hope you enjoyed my little Logan rant. This was a very impromptu episode. I wasn't really planning on filming tonight, but I just had to get out of a funky mood I was in and do something fun. And I had fun drawing this way back in 2020, and I have fun showing it to you now and talking about a character that I grew up with, that a lot of us grew up with, Mr. Wolverine, Mr. Logan. I'm hoping I have a couple of thumbnails of some X-Men artwork that I want to get to later this year. If you don't see it here first, you'll see it on my socials, which are always at the end of this video. You can check me out on, actually, like I'm starting to post more artwork on my threads. So if you're not watching me on my threads, you're potentially missing out on some stuff that I may never post on Facebook or anything else. So if you like what you see, check me out there. See you guys. Peace.